Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is my 2004 BMW R1250 RTP, an ex-police motorcycle. I plan on hopefully here in a couple weeks taking this on an iron butt ride. I'm hoping to do the iron butt, the 1,000 mile and 24-hour ride. But I plan on going someplace that's 1,000 miles away and then the following day or whatever returning back. So this bike needs to be prepared to go on a 2,000 mile journey hopefully without any issues. So I'm going to be giving this bike a once over to just make sure that everything is in good shape on it. There's a service or two that I think I want to catch up on because I just haven't done it in a while, and hopefully just make sure that this bike, having almost 94,000 miles on it, is going to be hopefully trouble-free for the duration of that trip. So let's get started. I began to dismantle the motorcycle that I hadn't started in quite a bit. Little did I know, I was in for problems. Well, I fired it up to back it out of the garage, and I'll show a close-up image, but it started misfiring and shaking and not wanting to run very well. You can hear it. It's probably, yeah, this is gonna die. That's because of this. It actually completely broke off. So it's got the, oh, come on. It's just too bright in the background. Alright, hello everyone. So, bike that we got here. It's a 2022 BMW R1250GS Adventure. This is going to be our first fuel stop. We're here at a Chevron station in Marietta, and we're going to fill this thing up. We're going to do a log, and we're going to get our receipts, and document. Start with our starting mileage and starting location. The start point is going to be here. The end point is going to be in Vancouver, Washington. That's going to be, or should be, about the end of the 1,000 miles for this trip. So I don't know, you probably can't see this here. Take a screenshot of it. It says here we should arrive at 12:47 tomorrow, around noon, a little bit after noon. 1,050 miles to city center, Vancouver, Washington. There you go. I'll show you another screenshot. 15 hours and 21 minutes, 1,050 miles. So while this fills up, I'm quite excited about this ride. When I just first got my motorcycle license, my grandpa always used to ride motorcycles, and he was really quite excited for me to get my motorcycle license. And we had seen one day the license plate frame that said iron butt, and we looked it up, and he thought that would be pretty neat. And then we had watched that Long Way Round and Long Way Down, or Long Way Up, or something like that, and they had the R1250 and they had the R1250GS on there. We both thought they were just the neatest bikes ever. And so to be able to do this on, one of these and actually test it out, it's going to be pretty cool. Really? Clerk has receipt. I guess we'll go in and get a receipt.
Get your receipt on the 16 post office?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, December 1st, it says at the bottom of the receipt, actually says 9/29/25, 35.48, 6.548 gallons. Hopefully that doesn't throw them off. You can see it's still showing low on fuel, one message. But you guys saw me fill it up. So I got 1,215 miles on the bike. And that marks the beginning of our epic, yet really probably pretty cold adventure to come. Alright, we're in a town called, I think, Button Willow. We're about 200 miles into it. Everything's wet. It's been so much wetter than I thought it was going to be. 27769 Lagoon Drive in Button Willow, California. About 200 miles into the ride. The weather forecast leading up into this trip is going to be clear but cold. Then just the last couple days, it's going to be wet and cold. And then yesterday, our destination in Vancouver, Washington, is set to be slight or minimal chance of snow accumulation. So I did not expect, it started raining like 50 miles into it, and it's just been non-stop. I had expected at least minimal rain up until maybe San Francisco or something like that, and then just 30% chance, that we're gonna go through some scattered showers, but it's just been non-stop rain. About 50 miles in. Anyways, we're gonna do another fill up here, 200 miles ish. We'll get the actual numbers, put them up on the screen for you. Take a picture of the odometer on the bike, where we're at, how we're progressing, and then I'll have to put that in the log as well. Another one, clerk has receipt. What the? Well, let's go do this. We'll get another receipt from the clerk, because, why not? The little bit of talking to camera that I did, I was too quiet really to hear anything because there were characters around the gas station. I even included an accentuated clip of a man screaming for the throwing rocks. I just wanted to get back onto the highway. So I have no idea if you all can see this, but look how red my belly is. I'm getting a bit frostbit. I don't think that's terrible. We're in Reading, by the way. It's 32 degrees right now. It's 29 degrees for a very short period of time. Well, I don't know, probably about an hour. I am absolutely freezing. I hadn't planned on it being this cold. I brought insulated boots, brought insulated ride pants, brought an insulated jacket. After you've ridden through the rain and the front of your shirt's kind of wet, it's below freezing, it's kind of hard to keep it out. The plan was to leave Southern California late at night, so when I got up here, it was starting to get into the morning and warm up. So I'm gonna fill up here. We're gonna fill up here in Reading. Right across the street is a Starbucks. I'm gonna go to the Starbucks and try and warm up a little bit. We've got 435 more miles to go. Might try and buy a sweater layer on top of this. This isn't cutting it. I do not want to create a medical emergency for myself here in the middle of winter. This does not have the address of the filling station on it. So let me go in and see if they can give me a printout with a receipt for this pump. What's really quite weird, these receipts do not have an address at all. They have the time, but they don't have the address. Every gas station I've stopped at so far has an address. So I'm gonna go to Starbucks. We'll get something there, but I guess I'll keep these. We'll take pictures of them, like they asked. All right, so we stopped at Starbucks, and then we also stopped at Ross. Nothing they had in there was my size, but I found this Nike thing that's a 4X. decent enough. I'll put on underneath of these, try and coat down lower on my waist. I don't want to get frostbite. I think it's starting to go away. Color and everything's starting to come back. A little purpley spot here. But other than that, the rest of it looks okay. That got me worried. So I want to take a picture of this Ross and the Starbucks receipt next to the odometers. We gotta do it. We've come this far. It's only 450 more miles to go. I pressed on in the freezing cold, not enjoying the views quite as much as I probably would have in a car, and then minor technical difficulties struck. I pulled off at a gas station because the bolts securing the wind deflectors for the handle grips were coming loose, and I didn't want to lose a bolt on the ride. I got a little irritated because the included tools didn't fit the Torx head on the bolts, and I had to mark the tops of the bolts, unfortunately, with the teeth on my multi-tool to press on. It's kind of funny. I put off doing an iron butt for years, and when I had time and the ability to do it, I just said yes, let's do it. I didn't care if it was winter. If I put it off, I'd find another excuse to not do it. So I got to see some amazing views. The day before I set off, the 5 freeway was actually closed due to snow on the freeway. I just pressed on. We're stopping in a town right now called Grants Pass, Oregon. We actually made it into Oregon. It's so cold. Mistakes were made. Okay, we're at the Chevron station across the street. We're gonna try this again, hopefully. $4.86 for premium. Quite a bit less than I've been paying so far for this. One that's actually got an address on it. Heck yeah. All the cars running around here with their studded snow tires, and I got smooth summer tires here on my bike. What was I thinking? It's been so cold. So it's not a good idea. For this next stretch, the temps were at least a little above freezing, but fatigue and soreness had set in. I was starting to feel the amount of time on the road, the wind beating me up, being stuck in one position on the saddle all day. My mood, although still good, I just wanted to be done. I have a plan. I'll explain it to you here in a moment. It's starting to get really cold. We're starting to lose daylight, as you can see. I'm just done. We're close. Currently, you can see it, Salem, Oregon. The Capitol building is 3 miles from here. 3 miles. I don't really care about that. What I care about is how far it is back to the hotel that I'm staying in Albany. Because I'm just done. I'm just so cold, I want to get to the room. So that hotel is 22 miles backtrack south from here. GPS, I'll show it up here on the screen. GPS is saying we're 58 miles from our destination. So remember when we left this morning, it was like 1,051.
So I think that we can absolutely make it. Turn back now, get our fuel receipt here, get a fuel receipt now, then we'll have our power. Best I can do. It's so cold.
This has been sort of a subplot of the trip. Problems with fuel pumps. However, in Oregon, drivers of cars are not allowed to pump their own gas. So using them myself on the motorcycle, they're configured a little bit differently than pumps in California, where you have to input the price first or clear it, and I kept screwing up. So I struggled again with the fuel pumps here.
It's kind of unfortunate they're doing construction on it. It's such a beautiful building. Now look at that statue up at the top. But we're here. Let's see. Let's get a picture of us here.
After getting my photo at the Oregon Capitol, I turned back from Salem, Oregon and headed south, away from the bad weather and forecasted snow to my destination of Albany, Oregon. As you can see, daylight faded fast, so making it to Vancouver was very optimistic, but I don't think it would have been a good idea.
Alright, so here we are in Albany. Hopefully we can get a proper receipt. This is going to be closing receipt for this trip. At least a 1,000-mile one. So there's our final receipt.
Hello everyone, welcome to the garage. I made it back home safely. What an adventure that was, even coming back home. Here's a few photos of the trip back. I ended up having to break it up into 2 days coming back because the weather was so crazy. There was lightning and wind and everything. I ended up taking the 101, which is the coast highway-ish, home because I didn't want to go through the snow and stuff that was rolling in. Now that I'm back home, I don't think I have anything but praise to say about this motorcycle. It was an epic journey. I want to thank all of you for watching and joining me on this adventure. If you want to at some point in time, well, obviously my channel's pretty loosey-goosey and I post whatever, whenever. I plan on doing a review on this motorcycle, especially since there's no lights on the dash this early on. I plan on hopefully keeping it because there's no problems with it so far. So if you're interested in that, help the channel out, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, comment, share, you know the stuff on YouTube. Help me out, help the channel out, and maybe we'll have more interesting videos like this at some point in time in the future. I don't know when. YouTube's not my full-time job, so it's just kind of a toying around sort of thing. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It was an adventure of a lifetime. I've been dreaming about doing it for years, but summer rolls around and I'd rather get in the car with family. So winter was like the preferential time where nobody else was going anyplace and we could just make it happen. So again, thank you, like, share, subscribe, and hopefully join me for a future video about this motorcycle. Thanks for watching.